Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Strategy Now here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Let's take a look at what the market action is coming into the midday, and then we'll get ready for the close. Taking a look at the Dow Jones, down about 46 points, not much more than where it was on the open at 19,147. The Russell 2000 is at 13,1240. We also have the NASDAQ down $3.50 at 4733.75. And then taking a look at the S&Ps, we have the E-mini futures down 325 at 2188.75. So the major indices basically straddled around break even to down. We also have gold up about $6.50 at 1175.80, and the crude contract at 51.67. That's up 62 cents. So you can see that we basically have some underperformance. As a matter of fact, we see that the Dow Jones, which has been leading for most of this week, is lagging, the worst performing major index out there. And while we did have some catalysts in the morning with the employment situational report, which gave us non-farm payrolls at around 178,000, we did see that the average hourly earnings declined about 0.1%. Now, granted, you put that into perspective, they're still up 2.5%, and this is not the kind of data that's going to sway the Federal Reserve from moving away from a rate hike. As a matter of fact, if I take a look at the Fed funds tool, and it gives me the probability of the Fed moving rates going into their December 14th meeting, it's basically telling me that there's a 94.9% probability that they're going to raise rates at least 1/4 point. That's up from 92% last week. So you continue to see that the markets, you can see some profit taking right here. That makes sense. The fixed income markets, right now, there is a little bit of a bid. Why? Well, let's get into that. While stocks have been climbing, there is some profit taking both here in the United States, Europe, and in Asia. The reason being, there is a referendum that's being passed in Italy. We talked about it in the overnight session wrap-up for the last week or so. They have a constitutional reform referendum that basically they want to reform the Senate and the House in Italy. It is a pretty dramatic referendum. If it passes, you could see that their prime minister will step down, and basically the government then is just going to be overturned. They're just going to dismantle the government as it stands today. That has put a bid, as I said, into the Treasury markets. That's going to be my guidepost. If I see that the prices in bonds continue to go up, not only here in the United States, I'm taking a look at the 10-year yield. It's at 2.38%. That's down 7 basis points from where we opened this morning, and it's been absolutely impressive, the run that we've had in bonds. But I've also seen it across the board in Europe, whether it's the Bunds in Germany or Italian bonds, also bonds in the UK and France. They're all pulling back as far as yields, and you're seeing prices increase. There's just a safe haven bid going on in front of this referendum vote, which is going to be on Sunday night. So join us at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where we're going to be talking on Sunday night here at MarketStream.live. Now, while rates are coming down, prices going up in bonds, that's impacting the financial sector negatively. The banking sector, which has had an impressive run, is down. You're also seeing that the overall sector itself is down about 1.3%. If you take a look at the XLF, the other cyclical areas that you might see some weakness in, you're not. Most notable is energy. That's been driven by crude, but energy is up about 0.4%. You can take a look at XLE, that's the ETF that I follow, as well as technology. Look at the Qs. And the Qs have been lagging, and technology has been lagging, and tech is actually up. That sector is up 0.4%, even though the NASDAQ is weighed. Now, the energy sector, like I said, the gains are most notable in the crude oil and oil services, oil providers areas. Right now, you see that the crude contract that trades here in the United States, the CL or West Texas contract, is trading at 51.30. That is basically up about 60 cents, as I noted. It's up about another 30 cents right now, so it's up about 67 cents. So you've seen an impressive rise, especially since the OPEC meeting has come and gone. Yes, there are still plenty of headline risks. As a matter of fact, before I came on, there was a headline that came across saying that there could be some something going on with the Saudi Arabian banking sector, and they're thinking that maybe there could be some cyber attacks, could be coming from their partner in Iran. Just telling you what I've seen on the news tickers. But with that being said, again, still going to be a ton of volatility risk in the oil markets. Want to keep an eye on that. In the tech markets, though, you've seen the semiconductors are really where the strength's coming from. SMH is the semiconductor ETF I watch to watch the sector. The Philly Semiconductor Index is up about 1.2%, and that's being aided by two components, Micron and AMAT. Ticker symbol AMT up $1.15 at 31.25, and you have Micron, ticker symbol MU, trading at 19.07, up 59 cents. They've basically been leading the pack, so to speak, with gains of 3.9% for AMAT and 3.3% for Micron. Finally, I want to keep an eye on the consumer discretionary space. That's going to give me a real pulse of not only what's going on here in the United States domestically, but it's also going to give me an idea of how this holiday shopping season is working out. Now, there is one notable headline that's outside of this whole Black Friday, Cyber Monday type of headline commentary. It's the CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, is stepping down in April of 2017. That rocked the stock early last night. We announced that on the closing bell. But we see that the stock is firmed up at 57.16. Yes, it is down $1.35 and change. Well, we're going to see how institutional investors are going to take that when they've formally named the new head. But he will still be involved in the company as an executive chairman. But that has also put some institutional investors, some retail traders, maybe a little bit on edge. Also, what's been notable as far as consumer names that have been under a little stress today is Amazon and Priceline. Both those online behemoths are taking it on the chin a little bit today, so we'll keep an eye on that going into the close. Speaking of the close, at 3:30 Eastern Time, we will have Tech Talk. That's where we marry charts with option pricing. That's where the charts tell us what's been going on, and we look at the options prices, which give us a forecast of what's potentially being priced in for movements in the stocks that we're going to cover. And we have some good ones today. So join us at 3:30 Eastern Time for Tech Talk. Till now, thank you for joining us here at Strategy Now on MarketStream.live. I'll see you at 3:30.